Today, we're diving into the shocking things about Mexico that will leave you speechless. From traditions to breathtaking landscapes, Mexico is full of surprises. Discover the unexpected truths behind this vibrant country. Mexico, located in the southern part of North America, bordered by the United States to the north, Belize and Guatemala to the south, and flanked by the Pacific Ocean and the Gulf of Mexico. This nation is a cultural and natural gem. Home to over 126 million people, Mexico boasts a rich history and dynamic modernity, spanning approximately 761,610 square miles or 1,964,375 square kilometers. It's a land of vast deserts, lush rainforests, and bustling cities. The country with the most Spanish speakers in the world, the nation that consumes the most Coca-Cola globally, a place with an incredibly eerie museum of mummies. Mexico hides numerous mysteries that are guaranteed to astonish you. Join me on a journey to the beautiful country of Mexico in South America to discover the peculiar truths that attract many visitors to explore this place. But before we start, make sure you must like, subscribe, and share the video. Number 10. The country with the most Spanish speakers in the world. If you plan to visit Mexico, make sure to learn a few basic Spanish phrases in advance. Mexico has the most Spanish speakers in the world, even more than Spain, where the language began. In 2015, a study showed that Mexico had the largest Spanish-speaking community, with 121 million people. This is because of centuries of Spanish colonial rule from the 16th century until Mexico's independence in 1810. Speaking some Spanish can help you connect better with locals and enjoy your trip more. You can start with simple phrases like hola for hello, gracias for thank you, and por favor for please. Locals will appreciate your effort, and it can make your travel experience smoother. Plus, understanding the language can help you navigate, order food, and ask for directions. So, brush up on your Spanish before heading to Mexico. Number 9. Taste crispy fried insects. If you enjoy dishes made from insects, head to Mexico to try some unique flavors. Fried crispy insect dishes like ant eggs with salt, plump butterfly larvae, large black ants, tarantula spiders, beetles, grasshoppers, and more are quite popular here. You can find these crunchy fried insect delicacies at various restaurants around Mexico. In local markets, these dishes are displayed in bowls for you to savor. Trying insect dishes in Mexico is not only a culinary adventure, but also a way to experience local traditions and culture. Eating insects has been part of Mexican cuisine for centuries, dating back to the Aztec and Mayan civilizations. It's considered a sustainable and nutritious food source, packed with protein and essential nutrients. For the more adventurous eater, dishes like chapulines, grasshoppers, are often seasoned with chili and lime, offering a zesty crunch. Don't miss escamoles, known as Mexican caviar, which are ant larvae with a buttery, nutty flavor. Number 8. Museum of Mummies. El Museo de las Momias, located in Guanajuato, Mexico, is one of the world's eeriest museums. This museum preserves the bodies of men, women, and children, displaying them as mummies in glass cases in various poses. Visitors often feel a spine-chilling sensation, especially when seeing the world's smallest mummy, a fetus taken from the womb of a woman who died from the plague. The Mexican government supports this exhibition, viewing death as the next cycle of life. The museum draws many tourists, with an entrance fee of only 2 pesos per person. The mummies were discovered in the 19th century when graves were opened because of a local tax policy. Bodies that were naturally mummified, due to the area's unique climate conditions, were preserved. Each mummy has its own story, reflecting the history and culture of the time. The museum also provides insight into ancient burial practices and the town's past. Visitors can learn about the processes of mummification and the scientific aspects behind it. It's a fascinating yet eerie experience, giving a unique perspective on death and preservation. Number 7. Day of the Deceased Festival in Mexico. If you've watched Disney's popular animated film Coco, you're likely familiar with Mexico's unique Day of the Dead festival. In Spanish, this day is known as Dia de los Muertos. This celebration typically takes place on November 1st and 2nd. During this extended holiday period, families and friends gather to pay respect and remember deceased family members and friends. According to local belief, during these days, the souls of the departed return to be with their families. Every Mexican family decorates altars inside their homes or at gravesites with yellow-themed fruits, various types of bread, sweets, handmade crafts, and more. Additionally, the altars are adorned with lit candles, portraits, and mementos of the departed. Despite its somewhat eerie name, the atmosphere of the festival is lively and vibrant. Throughout the streets, there are parades and extravagant celebrations. Children often participate in street parades dressed in spooky costumes, wearing skull masks and skeleton-themed outfits. The celebration also includes music, dancing, and traditional foods like tamales and mole. Number 6. The Island of Dolls in Mexico. Approximately 11 kilometers from the center of Mexico City, there is a small island covered with hundreds, possibly thousands, of old dolls called Isla de las Muñecas. These dolls are scattered across the island in various eerie positions, giving anyone, even the bravest, a spine-chilling experience when setting foot on the island. The dolls are hung on trees in the state they were abandoned, with some missing eyes, limbs, or even heads. Over time, and with constant changes in weather, the dolls become covered in dust and moss, making the eerie landscape of the island even more terrifying. Locals claim that the spirits on Mexico's Island of Dolls come to life at night and converse with each other. Some tourists even bring their own dolls as a sign of respect and to seek blessings. The island's story began when a man named Don Julian Santana started hanging dolls to appease the spirit of a girl he believed had drowned nearby. Over 50 years, he collected and hung dolls all over the island until his death. Number 5. The world's largest pyramid in Mexico. When we think of pyramids, we often envision grand structures in the vast deserts of Egypt. However, the pyramids in Mexico are equally massive and mysterious. The largest pyramid in terms of volume is the Great Pyramid of Cholula, located in the state of Puebla, Mexico. In 2016, scientists conducting a study reported on the BBC that this pyramid, built around 300 BCE, has a base 4 times larger than the Great Pyramid of Giza, measuring approximately 450 meters wide and 66 meters high. This structure is not a single pyramid, but rather at least 6 pyramids built on top of each other. Experts believe each pyramid was constructed at different times. The construction date is estimated to be around 300 BCE, but the builders remain unidentified. Since the 1930s, numerous efforts have been made to excavate the entire pyramid. Over 8 kilometers of tunnels have been dug inside the structure for tourist exploration. The pyramid is also covered by a large church, the Iglesia de Nuestra Señora de los Remedios, which was built by Spanish colonizers in the 16th century. The site is a fascinating blend of ancient and colonial history. The surrounding area of Cholula is rich in archaeological significance, with many other ancient structures and artifacts. Number 4. The Silent Zone in Mexico. The Silent Zone in Mexico, known as the Bermuda Triangle without a sea, is a mysterious area deep within the Chihuahuan Desert called Coahuila. It has become a lifelong mystery for locals and tourists worldwide. This piece of land, known as Zona del Silencio, the Silent Zone, lives up to its name. It is an area where radio signals mysteriously do not work. If anyone brings a compass as a backup tool to this area, they will be unable to use it as the needle of the compass will spin uncontrollably, causing confusion about directions. Stories of encounters with extraterrestrials, mysterious shadow people, and unexplained UFO sightings in the skies have made Zona del Silencio a land of enigmatic and compelling mysteries in Mexico. With its own secrets, the Silent Zone remains largely unexplored by the outside world. There are no houses or people living there, just insects, reptiles, and small mammals. The unusual magnetic properties of the area are thought to be caused by meteorite fragments rich in iron and nickel. Some scientists believe these properties might explain the strange phenomena experienced there. Additionally, rare and unique plant species have adapted to the harsh desert conditions, adding to the zone's mystique. Number 3. Mexico City's slow submersion. Mexico City, the capital, is built on a former lake bed, and the underground aquifers beneath the city have been gradually drying up due to extensive groundwater extraction over many centuries. As a result, cracks are forming in the foundations of various areas within the city, which poses a risk of infrastructure collapse. According to a study published in the JGR Solid Earth Journal, land subsidence is also contaminating the underground water source and affecting water quality. About 70% of Mexico City's drinking water comes from underground wells, so any contamination could impact the health of a large portion of the city's population. In the northeast part of the city, researchers have observed land subsidence at a rate of 50 centimeters per year. This subsidence is a major concern, with some comparing it to a modern-day real-life Atlantis. Meanwhile, on a more positive note, one of humanity's greatest inventions is credited to Guillermo González Camarena, a Mexican inventor who revolutionized television by introducing color. Number 2. World's highest taxi density in the capital. With a population of 9 million people, Mexico City is comparable in size to other major cities like New York. However, Mexico City stands out with over 100,000 registered taxis, making it the city with the most taxes in the world, both in total number and in ratio to its population. In contrast, New York has about 14,000 taxis. For much of its history, more than half of Mexico City's taxis were iconic green Volkswagen Beetles. These distinctive cars became a symbol of the city. However, by the early 2000s, new policies aimed at improving fuel efficiency and safety led to the near disappearance of these classic green taxis. The city began transitioning to newer models, often in different colors, to meet modern standards. Despite this change, the green Beetles remain a nostalgic symbol of Mexico City's past. Today, you'll find a variety of taxi models in the city, including newer sedans and hybrid vehicles. The shift also reflects broader trends in urban transportation and efforts to reduce pollution and improve passenger safety. Number 1. Cultural taboos in Mexico. In Mexico, a blend of indigenous traditions and Spanish influences creates a unique cultural landscape with several important taboos and practices. Respect for religious symbols is crucial, as Mexico's predominantly Roman Catholic population views the handling or touching of religious artifacts without permission as disrespectful. Family honor is highly valued, so avoiding behavior that might bring shame to the family, including showing respect for elders and maintaining good manners, is essential. While Mexicans are generally warm and friendly, being mindful of personal space, especially in formal settings, is important. It's best to avoid using the oak hand gesture, which can be offensive in some regions, and crossing your arms while speaking, as it may be interpreted as defensiveness. Discussing personal finances is considered impolite, so it's wise to steer clear of topics related to salaries or financial status. Pointing at people is also seen as rude. Instead, use your whole hand for gestures. Although Mexican time often means events start later than scheduled, punctuality is still appreciated for formal occasions. Thanks for joining us on this journey through Mexico's most astonishing facts. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe to our channel for more incredible content, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below.